Hi, I'm the Free American Thinker, and today I wanted to talk about something that's really cool and exciting to understand, and that is the idea of doors opening and closing in your future on this time on Earth with other people, and how things and reality manifest themselves from the astral field of thought and consciousness into our reality. We have to understand that thoughts are very powerful, and when you think about something, you are actually creating you are creating a new dimension of that thought in the astral field. The astral field is a longer conversation, but it is one of the main fields of consciousness where things exist and are created and destroyed. When you think of something, let's say I want to go to the park, right? Let's say in 2 hours from now, I think of a timeline dimension where I am at a park that's down the street in 2 hours. When I create that thought of that intention, that potential reality gets created in the astral field. And when you actually literally, through action, through your heart katra, go down to the park and open the aperture of the universe through intention, you go to the park and that astral field of potential reality becomes a reality. Right there, that is the whole point of creation. Right. In the Bible and in other texts, there's a lot of documentation about, one door closing or another one opening, or God making opportunities available to you. Don't worry, do have faith and stuff like that. And that is actually very true. But what you're doing when you create the thought and you ask for the means to have a door open for you, let's say you lost your job and you're like, dear God, I pray for another opportunity to have another job, a better job with these things for myself and my family. When you do that, you're creating, because when you visualize and imagine that other new job or opportunity, then you create that thought and that consciousness in the astral field. God knows that, as well as your future self and your angels and your guardians and your friends and family and the multiple infinite people that are around you at all times that want the best for you. When God looks at that astral field and he goes, that is something that is in my will. I don't mind that. That is a good thing. I will give you the opportunity. I will make the worlds and the dimensions come together infinitely to open that opportunity for you. That is when your intention of a dimensional astral potential reality of existence, that is when that thought, consciousness dimension, intersects with God's thought. But it's not just God, it's also friends and family or anyone else's thoughts, right? Because we are all made in God's image, and we have a lot of the abilities that God has, which is creation, one of the many ones. So let's take that example of going to the park, and instead I call a friend, and maybe I imagine, a potential reality where me and my friend are at the park, right? I can visualize myself and my friend at the park 2 hours from now. Right there, when you create that reality in your thought in the astral field, you are literally creating that dimension. That dimension now exists as a potential future reality. When you then pick up the phone and call your friend and say, hey, are you available to go to the park in 2 hours? You are implanting the image of that astral potential reality into their head, and then they can visualize it. Then in their head, they can play around with it and see if they want to do it or not. If they say no, well, then they don't ever really come up with that dimension on their side collapses in the astral field, and it doesn't happen and it doesn't materialize into reality. If they were to say yes, then you now have the creation of the astral potential reality, the dimension of reality that could exist in the future. So do they. And if they confirm, and in 2 hours, assuming they make it on time, then now both parties have the astral field of that potential reality, both in existence, and those two planes of dimensional reality intersect. And at that point of intersection, boom, that is when it pops into this three-dimensional plane and it becomes a reality, which is a really awesome thought, because I was thinking about that today, going up and down the elevator to do some laundry. Yes. Another day-to-day chore. When I was thinking about that in the elevator, I was watching the door open and closing, and it was just, my mind was going to how God allows for doors opening and closing because of new contracts and new jobs that have been made available to me that are actually really positive. I'm very blessed to have the work that I'm able to do. And so I have my notes about the idea, And so I just wanted to, I thought that was a great, brilliant way of really honing down an actual example of what I'm talking about and what others are talking about when we say the creation and that you are a creator. When you create in your mind the potential reality of something happening in the astral field, boom, you created it. It is a dimension of space-time that exists, and when someone else also agrees to it and creates it for themselves and it intersects, that's when things happen. Like, say, I want to create a pen. That's how that happens. And so when you do that through prayer and ask for opportunities and doors to happen, God, if he sees it fit and it's in his image, if he agrees to it himself, he will, and other people that care about you in the other areas of the realm of this world, in love and light, it will help make it a reality. Once that is the case, you just have to have faith that those people will open those doors for you, and you just have to do the contra action of walking over to the park and making it a reality. God bless. The truth is inside you.